Welcome to Family Gamer TV. We're here at E3 and having a close look at Disney Infinity 2, and I've got John Blackburn, head of Avalanche Studio, and it looks like you've been busy with Disney Infinity.
We've been very busy. You know, we've been working on this for well over a year. When everybody came out last year and was like, hey, what about Marvel? It's like, we had it. We just couldn't really talk about it yet. So, but yeah, we've been working on this for quite a while now.
So we saw at the reveal Disney Infinity 2.0, a big focus on Marvel, but also there's lots of features coming in like skill trees and a higher level cap. Can you talk a bit about that?
So what we did when we started to think about how are you going to integrate Marvel, we really knew that we needed to get all the combat right, and so that meant a lot about special moves and those kind of things. Now last year we had some of the Incredibles and they had a lot of special moves there, but we really wanted to take that system to the next level. So we wanted to bring in more of an RPG like skill tree. And so that whole idea that the skill tree, as you upgrade your character over and over, you have a lot of choice as to what you are going to want to have your character be. So if your character is more of, if you want your Hulk to be a little bit more of a tank versus a little bit more nimble, you can go ahead and do that, and you have that opportunity as you kind of build that out to have a lot of choice as to what you want to do and what your combat style is going to be.
And so does each character have a different tree that relates to the character, or is it sort of a standard tree that's applied to all of them?
No, so there is a standardized tree essentially, so there's a limited palette of things you can choose from, but they all have different kind of expressions of each one of those things. Your ranged guys will have very different looking trees than like a melee guy, and so we do have a bunch of different kind of categories of like a brawler or like a ranged melee. Like Black Widow, she moves much more quickly around the battlefield than say somebody like Hulk does, and so Hulk's much more into power and those things. So they are all individual, but they all do kind of have a different way that you can then go kind of express which moves and acquire each one of those skills.
Mm-hmm. And so if you've got figures from Disney Infinity, the first game, and you bring those into Infinity 2.0, do they get those skill trees and the level cap boost?
Yes, they do. So they'll be able to level cap boost from 15 to 20. Now, what that does is if you've already leveled up your character, you get all these points to spend like right off the bat. Now, most of those points are into things that are more stat-based for those characters, so health and speed and that kind of stuff, as opposed to new special moves. But there are a few different things that we're putting in to allow you to kind of upgrade the character a little bit, like when they may have weapons in their hand or those kind of things. You may get a couple extra moves on the combo, say.
Mm-hmm. So we've seen lots of Marvel playsets coming up for Disney Infinity 2.0, but are there some non-Marvel, other Disney franchises coming?
So for right now, we're just announcing all the Marvel stuff that we're doing, and so we're showing, both Spider-Man here at E3, as well as the Avengers that we've already announced. We'll have some other stuff that we'll talk about later on, but we're not sharing that today.
Oh yes, so the Spider-Man playset, that's new and revealed for the first time at E3. Some of those characters I recognised, Spider-Man and Venom, but there's some others in there that maybe are less well known?
They're a little bit less well known, but if you're a Marvel fan, you know exactly who these guys are. Now, a lot of this is based on the TV series, so if you watch the TV series, you will know, some of the characters that we've got in there, like Nova and Iron Fist. You've also got Nick Fury that's in there as well. A lot of people know him, so those are all characters you can be.
And with these two Marvel playsets, do those characters have to stay separate, or have you now got sort of crossover?
So this is something that fans really asked for last year. So last year it didn't really make sense to maybe bring Lightning McQueen into, say, Jack Sparrow's world. But in Marvel, they oftentimes do crossover. So in working with the guys at Marvel, we really went through and it's like, who would you actually expect to be able to take back and forth in between these? So like Iron Man can go back into Spider-Man. When you bring Iron Man in, it opens up a mission line for him that has another story element in there for you as well.
Oh, nice. So that's rather than just doing that in the toy box, you can now do it in playsets. It's really good.
Yeah, so each of the different playsets that we have with Marvel does have the crossover characters. So I believe we've got 6 different storylines that you'll be able to see if you collect the whole set.
And Disney Infinity 2.0 is coming to the same platforms that you're on already, but as I understand it, the Wii's not being taken forward. Is there some sort of upgrade path if you've got the Wii game?
So we're actually working with Nintendo right now on an upgrade path for people who can go up to the Wii U. So we're trying to make sure that we're doing that for our consumers. But there's also there's the PS4 and the Xbox One that you can also kind of go to as well.
Mm-hmm. And so you could potentially reuse your portal that you had on your Wii on another platform. There's some cross compatibility.
So there's a little bit of with the Xbox One. There's a hardware restriction. That was actually a new piece of hardware for the Xbox One, so that one is not compatible. All the other readers are compatible, though. So a Wii does work on a Wii U. Likewise, a PS3 works on a PS4.
So in the Sony press conference, we saw some exclusives that Sony were putting up on stage about Disney Infinity. Could you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, so we're really excited about, we've got a exclusive collector's edition that is available only on Sony platforms. So in that collector's edition, it's a really big diorama. You get all of the characters available in the Avengers, and it's also got like a big, kind of boss that's on there. So you're able to get Hulk a month early in that exclusive collector's edition before anybody else can then go out and buy him. But everybody else will be able to go out and get Hulk.
Mm-hmm. But you've not announced the actual release date for Infinity 2 yet?
No, we're not announcing that. It's coming this fall.
Now, something else that's sort of been changing is how PC players can access Disney Infinity. So the game, the toy box and play sets came to PC,
right.
But they could purchase the characters in game without the physical toy. That seems like an unusual decision because it sort of divorces that one-to-one relationship. What was the thinking behind that?
So the thinking behind that was that we wanted to allow people to, if they didn't have a reader, say, for the PC, or we didn't really have a starter pack, that you could go out and go ahead and still purchase your favorite characters. Now, the difference on that is if you buy a digital version of that character, it only stays on that particular platform. So that also works with the iPad version of the game as well. So you can transact the characters on the iPad, they stay on the iPad. On the PC, they stay on the PC. If you buy the physical character, it works everywhere through the webcode.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. So yeah, so buying the physical, you've got an extra reason because you can play it right across different platforms.
Yes, absolutely. So it'll work everywhere when you buy the physical.
Great, it's really good to hear more about Disney Infinity 2.0 and the new Marvel playsets, but maybe get some hands-on with the game and have a look at it in person.
Absolutely, sounds great. Love to show you.